Okay, we finally did it. We finally sold our home in Colorado. A lot of you have been following along on Instagram and have been waiting so patiently for this home tour, and I'm happy to say it is finally here. Now that we're settled into Washington State, I've been able to sit down and edit this for you guys. So we'll start here in the front yard and just get right to it. So we decided to turn this space into a certified wildlife habitat. And so with that comes a lot of flowers that native pollinators love, lots of food for us, of course, and just a lot of opportunities for wildlife to make their home here. Man, we miss those big trees. So this space used to just be kind of a big barren, kind of grassy front lawn. I mean, it was mostly dead grass, and so it was really a blank slate. We were able to lay down cardboard and mulch and compost and turn it into this foodscape that you see. So most of the material that you see here was free. The mulch, the manure that's underneath, all the rocks and the pavers. So this project cost us very little money. I think the most we spent was just on these flower baskets, just to make it look pretty for selling. So we definitely miss this place. We miss this big tree here. So pretty during the golden hour. So a lot of you guys already see, oh, there's all my Swiss chard. You know I love Swiss chard. Anyway, a lot of you guys know what the outside looks like. And so I think the majority of this home tour is going to be the inside of our house because, you know, due to privacy, while we were still living there, I didn't really want to show everything about our home. So you guys are going to be able to see what that looks like here on this video. So let's go in. Alright, this is your view into our living room and basically the whole downstairs of our house. So this house was built in the 1950s, so it's pretty old, but it has been very well maintained over the years, as you can see. All we really had to do was give it, we really had to give it a nice fresh coat of paint throughout the whole thing. It was very brown. Everything was just very brown on the walls and the floor, as you can see. So we changed that up, modernized it a bit, and that's basically it. I mean, apart from, you know, water heater breaking and the usual homeowner type situations. This house has been really good to us. And it's been really fun to make it our home. And you'll see here the thing that sold us on this house was the kitchen. We'll go into it here a bit more, and I'll show you all the counter space that I had for cooking. Plenty of space to bring in our eggs and garden goodies. But yeah, look at all that counter space. So it's been really fun to play in this kitchen and to have so much natural light come through. Yeah, I miss this kitchen. Watching this back now, we had a nice big pantry. We could store all of our canned goods. Yeah. Looking at it from a different angle up here on the stairs, I'll take you up here later. We'll get a closer look at the piano that we found for free on Craigslist. Sweet pictures on top of it. I just love how we made this home ours. So we'll walk this way towards the hallway and the downstairs bedrooms. Okay, we'll start in the dog room. Here's Mr. Tucker. Get him back a bit so we can step in here. Give you a quick peek at Rocky, our pancake tortoise. This is kind of the pet room slash craft room slash office slash the place I started my seeds. It's a small room. There's Moses in his crate. It's a small room, but it has 2 nice windows, so it had the most light. It's just a really nice room for all those things. Moses is crate training, so he's in that big crate right there that takes up the whole room. So we have dog art up there. There's our sweet forest. So yeah, this room, we never really figured out how we wanted to decorate it, but it's been really useful for all of these different things. It's kind of the catch-all. Everybody needs a catch-all room. We'll hop over the baby gate and show you the bathroom. So this bathroom is very dark, very small. Now imagine it painted like black, blue, black shower curtains, black everything. It was really horrible when we moved in. So we gave it a nice refresh, lightened everything up. So yeah, there's really nothing to show here. And we'll take a right and go into our bedroom. So this room also had some horrible paint. It used to be bright pink, like hot pink and purple, and the paint had sparkles in it. So we obviously changed that right away. Our bedroom is kind of a Southwest theme, so you saw our Navajo rug there. Just nice, simple antique furniture, and a homemade quilt on the bed from one of my school teachers growing up, and it overlooks the backyard, which we'll show you here at the end of the video. So we like simple, nothing crazy. We had to move the TV in here because we rented out our upper floor. There's Tucker. So I think we'll head upstairs now. So this house was originally a one-story house, but many years ago, one of the owners added on an additional upper floor. And so it's not a full floor apparently, it's like a 1.5 story house. But the previous owners used this big space that you see as their master bedroom, which seems really nice, right? But we thought it was kind of extravagant. You can see this nice view here. You can see the front yard looking down. But anyway, we decided to use this space as more of a family room, TV room, kind of hangout space, and then a guest bedroom over in that corner that I'll show you here in a bit. So our TV was against this wall right here. We had planned on building some built-ins, never got around to that. It has a nice big bathroom, I'll show you here in a second, and a big closet as well. So a really nice space. So we'll go in this bathroom, which again had a horrible paint job. I'll explain that to you here, but it's really beautiful, isn't it? A couple of things we didn't like about this bathroom. Windows. That's just too many windows for a bathroom, and if you step up into that tub, the whole world can see you. So we barely used this bathroom. It was painted a weird color too. We fixed that. But we have these nice vaulted ceilings, a nice gas fireplace, and then we used this space to house our guests. So we had a curtain that went across the ceiling up here and just partitioned this off for anybody who stayed with us, or we had some people rent from us for a while, a couple of different times. And then it opens up into this really cool upper porch. So we'll go out here and see the lovely view if you only look certain directions. Lovely view of our backyard. So it's been really fun to hang out up here and watch the yard change over the years. There's our nice raised beds, and again, we'll go back into the backyard at the end of this video, I promise. This is where most of the magic happened. Yep, we miss this place. Miss these giant trees. It's just a really nice house. So we'll head back downstairs, and I think we'll go out into the backyard. Oh, I got down here, I forgot to show you something. Our barely one-car garage. So my car's parked in here, our washer and dryer's in here, nice steep stair to get down here, so nothing much to show in here, but yeah, we got really good at parking in tight spaces. Our dogs are going to greet us out here, Moses and Tucker, and then Nick is going to take over explaining the first part of the backyard.
Okay, so here is our nice raised flower bed. You can see some mums and others that we put in there. Then we have shelves for garden, some dove houses for the dogs, and nice pathway going out into the garden. Then we have our nice finished setup with the lights. We have our little patio table here with the grill. The nice wooden chairs that Becca made. The grill that I assembled. Looking pretty nice.
Alright, Nick finished that part, and I'm going to show you my pride and joy, Moses. No, he's just cute. Tucker, yes, but the backyard. So, I won't go into a whole bunch of detail about what this used to look like and all that stuff, but if you've been following along, you know that this was a lot of work over the years to get it to look like this. Now it is just this beautiful spot that we've thoroughly enjoyed hanging out in and gardening, and it's just like our own little oasis. So we have this upper porch that's been housing birdhouses, this nice sedum lined pathway. My aunt provided me with a little patch of sedum to start it out, and it's just grown vigorously over the years. The doves, the dugs that Nick mentioned in the previous section, really enjoy eating that. And then we have our covered raised beds along with this wall of arborvitae. So yeah, these raised beds have been kind of my pride and joy over the past couple of years, with these A-frames that lift up and protect the crops from squirrels and from hail damage, because as you know, here in Colorado we get crazy hailstorms and we have hungry squirrels. So I wanted to be able to protect what I was growing and be able to actually eat some of it myself. So we picked and chose what we grew in these beds, and then, you know, just gave up the rest of the garden to the squirrels and the hail, and just crossed our fingers. So these have been great. And then we also used the chicken wire to allow pollinators to get in and out instead of hardware cloth. And it's beautiful. We have 3 mature trees on our property. They've been such a blessing. Provide us with a lot of shade, lots of leaves for mulch in the fall. Okay, so we have 4 of these raised beds. Hi, sweet boy. Oh, okay. There's Tucker. Hi, Tucker. Tucker, come here. always with me when I'm gardening. Alright, so we have these 4 raised beds here. 2 of them are short ones, 2 of them are tall ones. The short ones I primarily have used for greens and carrots and those types of things, and the tall ones are for tomatoes. And so in the tomato beds I also have some supports in there, some rebar mesh, so that I don't need to use up the space in there with tomato cages. All of these bricks I laid myself, and like I said in the beginning of the video, all that material was free. So the bricks came with the place. There's just this big pile of rubbish, and we made use of it. So those the rebar mesh I was talking about. And you can see how we built the bed. Just simple hinges on those frames. A couple more over here, and then I made them out of pallet wood that I would bring home from working at the zoo. And so we'd obviously get big shipments of food and have all these pallets to use up. So they came home with me. We also this way have one surviving peach tree. Colorado is hard on peach trees apparently. We've had to replace a few over the years. But back here I've planted a bunch of things like red clover and pineapple sage. Lots and lots of squash this year, and cabbages, just things that not only feed us and feed pollinators, but they just look really beautiful too. I also have lined the pathway back here that goes to the compost in the chicken pen with green bunching onions. I'll give you a closer look later. And then just looking this way, the lighting is really beautiful right now. So we'll head this way to the compost bin, where we also have creeping thyme in between the path, or between the pavers. It's been a hard year for arborvitae as well. Here's our compost bins, just really quite simple setup. We have a 3-bin system where we can continuously add and let the other bins age, I guess. Lined it with hardware cloth to prevent anything from falling out. There's the tomatoes for the year. So we also have a kind of a neighborhood system going with all these buckets here where someone drops off their food waste and I leave them empty buckets and you know the rest. So here is the chicken coop. Right now it doesn't have any chickens in it. So I used it this year to grow some hard to grow things like loofah and melons. But this comfortably housed our girls for a few years. This doghouse that I converted into a chicken house was my childhood dog's house growing up that I helped build when I was just a little girl, so it's pretty cool that it could be reused for this purpose. Built this little thing by hand, so pretty proud of this. It was a nice little chicken house, and hopefully the new owners of the house will like it too. This spot in the garden, I think, was my favorite. I would just stand here every single day and just gaze out in the yard at the dogs playing. Tucker would usually join me over here as well. And we just look out at all of the things that we've accomplished, all the things that are growing throughout each season, and just take it all in. Yeah, we really enjoyed this backyard. Our clothesline over there in the shed, so we'll go over this way. This is the end of the season, obviously, so things are on their way out. The squash back there is still kicking, but on its way out. But the Swiss chard, man. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If I will only grow one thing in my garden for the rest of my life, it is Swiss chard. It doesn't mind the cold, it doesn't mind the hot, and it's beautiful and tasty, so grow Swiss chard. So we'll head over this way and I'll show you this, we call it the horseshoe bed because you can see it's shaped like a horseshoe, and this archway that I just built this year. This has been a really cool focal point of the garden this summer. Cucamelons were growing up and over this arch, and it was surrounded by sunflowers on either side, and the bed was just full of greens. So you can see we have a lot of wood chips around. Like I've mentioned in other videos, we have utilized a kind of, it's called a back to Eden gardening method, where it's a no dig, no tilling type of gardening, and it has worked. It has worked wonders for this hard Colorado native soil. I guess you can call it soil. So the soil in these beds now is about 3 years old and pretty much at their peak. You can see remnants of cucamelons growing on this arch. We grew a lot of beets in here, nasturtiums. Those dogs have been playing non-stop. I'm glad we have a yard for them. Sunflowers on its last leg, but I'm leaving them because look at all that pollen for some late food for the bees that are still hanging around. See this view. I love the raised beds over there. The chickens would watch me through this spot right here, and I would sneak them some food like any good chicken mama, or any grasshoppers that would be eating my greens. Throw them over there for them. This is our designated raspberry patch and our kind of privacy fence. So we recently had a branch fall from this tree right up there, and it crushed the fence, and we had to fix it a bit, but luckily there's a chain link fence behind these privacy boards, so it was a pretty easy fix, and it missed all the telephone wires, which is good. So no one needs to know. So these raspberries here, there's golden raspberries and there's regular red raspberries that came with the house when we moved in. They were here, or they were in a different location, but we moved them over here to get more sun. And we've gotten a handful of raspberries off of them over the years. And back here, we have an alley behind the fence. And we'd often go out this gate and go take walks. Those dogs. Oh my goodness. Anyway, like I was saying, we go out this gate often and go on walks to the creek. Fountain Creek Regional Park is just a short walk away from our house. And the dogs love going with us. So one thing I will say that I will not miss about this house is that lovely tree house over there. It's been tricky to try and keep it out of my photos and videos on Instagram, but you know what? It's not hurting anything, right? It's just ugly. So I won't miss that, but I will miss this yard. And I do miss this yard quite a lot. And our big covered porch. A funny thing I want to show you. Right here, carved into the stone, says Linda and Chuck, and that's what we decided the names of the squirrels are that live in our trees. So Linda and Chuck, sorry I kept you out of my garden beds, but it is what it is. This space back here is mostly just for the dogs. That is the designated dog potty area. The dogs go to the bathroom over here so that we can keep a nice green and dog do free yard. So they're good boys for doing that. And then we put these pavers over here within the last year and a half. Again, they were here when we moved in. They were just in a big pile of rubbish, so we didn't really have to spend any money to make it look like this. Clothesline with the nice tree to hang up our clothes in the summer and those unseasonably warm winter days. And then this year, I decided to grow a ring of nasturtiums around this tree. So, like I said, they're on their last leg. It's the end of the season, but they brought me a lot of happiness. So that is our beloved home in its entirety. So we miss it a lot, and hope you guys enjoyed it.